She didn't just leave the relationship. She left believing she could do better than you. And the worst part? The way most men react after a breakup only makes her more sure she made the right choice. The 2 a.m. paragraphs, the "can we talk one more time" voice notes, the long emotional explanations, even the gym posts you secretly hoped she'd see. To you, it feels like fighting for love. To her, it looks like proof you need her more than she needs you. And once she feels that, regret gets replaced by relief. That's why chasing almost never works. But here's the part most men learn too late. Sometimes the same woman who left so certain comes back months later with some casual check-in, like the breakup barely happened. And if you're still hurting, that message feels like hope. But most of the time, it isn't love that brought her back. It's what happens when fantasy runs into real life. Because when she leaves, she's not expecting something worse. She thinks life is about to feel lighter, more exciting, more alive. At first it does. New attention feels powerful. New chemistry feels effortless. And new people don't carry old problems. But give it time, and the shine wears off. That's when people stop comparing reality to a fantasy and start comparing it to what they lost. I've seen this happen too many times. One man went through it after a 3-year relationship ended. The night she left, he sat on the edge of his bed with his phone in his hand, reading old messages like they might explain everything. Typing, deleting, typing again, trying to find one sentence that would make her remember what they had. She told him something was missing, that she needed more. A few weeks later, she was already posting stories with another guy. 3 years of your life, memories, plans, inside jokes, and within weeks, she's smiling next to someone new. That shit doesn't just hurt. It makes you question your entire worth. Because now you're not only grieving the relationship, you're fighting the feeling that you were easy to replace. He wanted to text her, wanted to ask how she moved on so fast, wanted to remind her of everything they built. But he didn't. Not to play games, not to manipulate her. He stayed quiet because he knew no message was going to undo a decision she had already made in her mind. So he did the harder thing. He rebuilt. He fixed his sleep, started training again, stopped checking her profile, put more focus into work, got back around people he had drifted away from, built structure into days that used to fall apart without her. At first, none of it felt empowering. It just felt like surviving. But slowly, his life stopped revolving around one person's absence. Then, months later, she reached out. Just a small message, nothing dramatic. And the timing wasn't random. By then, the excitement she left for had already become normal. The better option had turned into a real person with flaws, habits, moods, and limits. And suddenly, the things she once overlooked in him started to matter. His consistency, his calm, his loyalty, the history they shared. Same pattern happened with another guy, but for a completely different reason. She didn't leave because the relationship was toxic. She left because it felt too predictable. No betrayal, no huge fight, no obvious disaster. And those breakups can mess with you even more. Because when nothing clearly went wrong, you start searching for some invisible mistake. You replay small moments, old conversations, tiny changes in her tone. You keep thinking, what exactly made her stop choosing me? That's where he got stuck. Driving alone, replaying the relationship in his head. Checking her stories more than he wanted to admit. Wondering if he had become too available, too safe, too easy to take for granted. Then eventually, he got tired of suffering in circles. He took a career opportunity he'd been delaying. started taking his health seriously, met new people, built a stronger routine, expanded his life instead of shrinking it around the breakup. And that's what changed him. Not fake confidence, not loud confidence, real confidence. The kind you build when your whole identity stops depending on one person choosing you. Almost a year later, she reached out too. And by then, the version of him she remembered was gone. That's the twist most men never expect. When someone comes back, they usually come back looking for the old version of you. The familiar one, the available one, the one who would still open the door emotionally the second they knocked. But if you handled the breakup the right way, that version of you doesn't exist anymore. And that changes the question completely. It's no longer, how do I get her back? Now it becomes, why is she back now? That question matters, because sometimes she doesn't come back because she deeply changed. She comes back because what she chased didn't feel how she imagined, because the novelty faded, because loneliness showed up, because she misses the comfort of having access to you. And if you're not careful, you'll mistake that curiosity for commitment. So if she leaves, what should you actually do? 3 things. 1. Stop trying to prove your value to someone who already walked away from it. No begging, no emotional essays, no one last conversation, no hanging around as backup comfort while she figures out whether life is better without you. If she chose distance, give her distance. 2. Rebuild the parts of your life that got weak: your body, your sleep, your focus, your work, your routine, your standards, your friendships. Not for revenge, not for social media, because heartbreak has a way of exposing where your life became too dependent on one person. 3. Step out of the emotional role she was used to. Don't be the emergency attention. Don't be the familiar safe place she returns to whenever her new life disappoints her. Don't stay available just because she suddenly misses access to you. Some lessons only land when your presence is gone. And here's the truth. You do not win after a breakup by making her regret leaving. You win by becoming a man whose life keeps moving when someone walks out of it. And yes, sometimes she comes back. Sometimes the text appears. Sometimes the late-night call comes. Sometimes the woman who looked so certain suddenly sounds unsure. But if you used the pain the right way, by then you won't be sitting there desperate for another chance.